Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about all the latest Washington football team draft rumors, including the possibility of the Washington football team trading up into the top 10 to get a quarterback, some day 2 options the Washington football team like at the quarterback position, and some players that they would consider at 19. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get right into the video. And of course, guys, it is smokescreen season, so make sure you guys take everything with a grain of salt. But there are some reports that have been happening for the last couple of months that have been pretty consistent throughout. So there are some, reports that I would trust more than others. So the first one that came out, and this was, today, and Tony Pauline from Pro Football Network reported that Washington is willing to move up to 7 or 8 if a QB they like starts to drop, and that is consistent with a couple other reports. John Keim also said that if, it's still a possibility that they do trade up into the top 10 to get a quarterback they like. So let's get into some other rumors. And John Keim also said this, and make sure you guys check out his podcast. He talked about a bunch of draft rumors today, and he said if he had to guess, the Washington football team takes another position at 19 besides quarterback and take their QB in the second round. And he said that Davis Mills from Stanford and quarterback Kyle Trask are both quarterbacks they would consider taking on day 2. One thing that he also mentioned is that they initially, viewed Kyle Trask as kind of a third rounder, and that would be kind of the sweet spot for him. But it's looking more and more likely, at least according to John Keim, that Kyle Trask is probably going to go in the second round. So going to be interesting to see if they view him now as a second rounder, and if they're willing to take him in the second, and if they like him more than Davis Mills. Personally, I like Davis Mills a lot more than Kyle Trask. I think he has a lot higher ceiling. He does have a lower floor, but I think, especially in a developmental prospect, you're looking for someone who does have a high ceiling, and Davis Mills has a lot of arm talent, really good anticipation, good accuracy, really good, solid arm strength. Only, concern, he does have some injury issues and also hasn't started many games at the collegiate level. So there are some concerns on both sides, and Kyle Trask obviously is a little bit limited athletically, but he also does have a higher floor, and still does have a little bit of room to grow because he's only started for 2 years in college, and in high school was a backup to Derek King, who obviously played college football at a very high level as well. So going to be very interesting, because I think if one quarterback they like, Justin Fields or Trey Lance, start to drop, because I do think it's going to go Trevor Lawrence 1, Zach Wilson 2, and most likely Mac Jones 3, according to the reports. And then if Atlanta doesn't take a quarterback at 4, then Justin Fields and Trey Lance might start to slide a bit. And if they like one of those guys, then maybe you could see them trading up into the top 10 to get one of those guys. And John Keim said it, he thinks that the Washington football team prefers Trey Lance over Justin Fields, and Michael Lombardi also said that the Washington football team is in love with Trey Lance. Again, all rumors and nothing, it is smokescreen season, but that is something to keep in mind, and those rumors have been kind of, recent, but the Kyle Trask and Davis Mills rumors have been, going on for a while now. The last couple of months, John Keim has been talking about Kyle Trask to Washington for a while, and then Davis Mills, some other Washington reporters have been talking about him. So I do think they're interested in those two guys, and whether they trade up into the top 10, that's just really going to depend on if some guys they like start to drop in this year's draft. And the thing I found most interesting in his podcast was that he said there's a linebacker, tackle, and quarterback, which we talked about, that they would consider trading up for in the top 10 if they feared they would lose him. So, that is interesting, because we've heard about quarterback, and that does make sense. I mean, if you want to get your franchise guy this year, it's likely going to have to be in the top 10. But, maybe they like, at linebacker or tackle, let's say all quarterbacks are gone, or at least all quarterbacks they like are gone in the top 10. And there's someone like Micah Parsons sitting there at 9, or somehow if Penei Sewell drops, because the first 4 picks are not going to be offensive linemen, the 5th pick might. If the 5th pick is not an offensive lineman, Penei Sewell could drop to, 7, 8, or 9, and maybe Washington is in love with him. And linebacker could be, Micah Parsons, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, possibly, but I don't think he's, any team's going to take him in the top 10. So, and it could even be Christian Darrisaw, because I've seen teams, some mock drafts with him at 13, but I doubt they trade into the top 10 to get Christian Darrisaw. But I do think that Christian Darrisaw is someone that they like, and kind of said that, at 19, the 2 likeliest most likely positions that they end up drafting are linebacker or tackle, and that is if they stay at 19. Some names at those positions, tackle, obviously Christian Darrisaw if he is there. Tevin Jenkins is another possible tackle option. Elijah Vera Tucker, who's a tackle and guard, can play both. He's another option if he's there at 19. And linebacker, there's a bunch of options. Obviously, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Jamin Davis, Zaven Collins, Nick Bolton. I think most of those options are probably trade back options into the 20s. Like, I think Jamin Davis, Zaven Collins, and Nick Bolton are in the late first round. Zaven Collins could go 19, though. That's the one I see there. But those are some possible options that they could go after. But I think they're leaning towards tackle. But if Christian Darrisaw isn't there, then they'll probably take a linebacker like Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah or one of these other guys later. So a lot of very interesting rumors. And I think the biggest takeaway for me is I do think the Washington football team is going to, end up taking a quarterback this year in the draft, whether it be in the first round or in the 2nd or 3rd round, and maybe even later. But that's the only, I don't think they'll draft like a 5th, 6th, 7th round guy unless they have him graded as somehow like a 3rd rounder, and he still hasn't been drafted, just because they already have Kyle Allen and Taylor Heineke, who are both, high level backups that they really like. So if they don't really like a guy like someone like Davis Mills or Kyle Trask, or maybe even Kellen Mond, who I do like, then I think they'll just stick with what they have. But if those guys are available on day 2, I do think they're going to take him if they haven't already taken a quarterback on day 1. And then also found it interesting that, they probably prefer Trey Lance over Justin Fields. So, let me know. I know it's a lot of different. Know what you guys think about these different rumors, and I know they're just rumors and it is smokescreen season, but John Keim, one of the most reliable Washington football team reporters, and he's been talking about this Davis Mills and Kyle Trask thing for a while now. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video, and peace.